Hey, Harlan.
I have a Christmas Day. Maybe we could share with officers our workers their numbers. Especially get those weird alarm calls. It's almost every.
Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. We'll have a pledge and prayer led by Councilmember Larry Zimmerman.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Lord, we are ever so thankful that we can come into your presence and petition you to be with us and help us to make good decisions. As we go about the business of the city, we just ask that your wisdom be upon us and that we look out for the citizens that have entrusted us to do the business of the city. I ask that you would be with all those that are entrusted into keeping the city safe. We ask these things in Jesus' name.
Okay. I believe that we want one correction on the agenda.
I would like to move the governing body comments to after the executive session, and I'd like to make that a motion.
Motion by Larry,
Second.
second by Brent. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion passes. Okay, citizen comments. Anybody from the audience that would like to speak for 3 minutes? Yeah.
Good evening, Honorable Council. I guess I've never really ever introduced myself. For those that don't know me, my name's Curtis Korth. I'm store manager at the Walmart here in town. I'm a Goddard resident. I live at 4414 South 231st Street West. So I just want to say thank you guys for all that you do. It's been a pleasure sitting here for the last, 3 or 4 months. I appreciate all the banter that goes back and forth. You guys definitely have the best interest of Goddard in mind, and I appreciate that. So if I can ever help you guys out any way, anything you got for me, I'll be glad to help you out. I'll be glad to share information as I get it. Every month we get a P&L statement, kind of tells us customer count. Might be interesting to you guys. I'll be glad to share that every month if you'd like me to. Other than that, things are going good and business is thriving. So thanks for what you guys are doing.
When did you guys get all the concrete paving done?
Friday.
Friday.
It was a
A lot
disaster.
of shuffling around. Got through it. So.
We made it through.
Made it
And
through.
the beginning was horrible and the end was horrible.
So Black Friday wasn't difficult enough. You had to up it.
Well, let's throw me a couple more curveballs. Yeah, the company did a great job for me on that one. But, we made it through.
It looks great.
So thank you guys.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
I appreciate you. Anybody else? None? Okay, we'll move on. F, consent agenda. You guys take a look at the consent agenda.
Nobody has any questions, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion by Sarah, second by Michael. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion passes. Item H1.
Honorable Mayor and City Council. We have a resolution for an industrial revenue bond agreement amendment number 2 for Devastate Senior Care and an IRB bond amendment number 1 for Devastate's Memory Care Penta 1 rate adjustment. The resolution approves these 2 amendments with the one action. Devastate's Series 1301 was authorized in April of 2013 with Ordinance 741 for $13 million. They also had a property tax exemption with a scaled pilot agreement with 80% of the property taxes being paid beginning in 2022 and 2023, with the expiration in 2023, and 100% property taxes occurring in 2024. On October 22nd of 2018, the governing body unanimously approved an amendment to Amendment number one, with Resolution 2018-14, where the monthly adjusted rate was fixed, and you'll notice that it was fixed for 7 years and adjusted thereafter. So it's now time for that adjustment. The Memory Care Facility Series 1901 was issued on December 2nd, 2019, with the adoption of Ordinance 841 in the amount of $4 million for the construction of the Memory Care Facility. All that this resolution's doing is approving Series A Amendment number 2 that establishes an interest rate where the rate is being lowered from 5.11 down to 3.24%, so creating some savings for the facility there, with agreement from Emprise Bank, who is also the bond holder for these industrial revenue bonds. The rate adjustment in the future can be undertaken effective October 15th of 2025 to November 15th of 2026. And then the Memory Care Series A 2019 Amendment number 1 is establishing a rate reduction from 4.08 down to 3.24, with that next rate adjustment taking effect December 15th of 2024 to November 15th of 2026. In accordance with Kansas state statutes, the city is merely a pass-through conduit. This is not city funds. It's not public funds. The statutes allow for sales tax exemptions and pass-through low-interest bonds to be issued by a private entity for private development, meeting statutory provisions. These healthcare facilities qualified for that pass-through, so there's no public funds here. It's merely a pass-through with the provision in the statutes for a bank or bondholder to issue debt on behalf of qualifying entities. And so that's what we're doing here. The resolution was authored by our bond attorney, Kevin Cowan at Gilmore and Bell, and it's been reviewed by City Attorney Ryan Peck, who has approved the form. Are there any questions over this action? I know it's fairly administrative, and a lot of cities, including larger ones to the east, just have it on the consent agenda, but for transparency and whatnot, we've always included it as an actual business item. If there are no questions, it's recommended that the council approve the resolution as presented and can be done by a voice vote.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Michael,
Second.
second by Brent. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion passed.
The resolution 2138.
Brian?
Thank you, sir.
We have been reached out to our main accounting software provider, G-Works, and their product Simple City, to inquire about their updated modules. They're transitioning slowly to a cloud-based accounting platform, and so far they've got 2 modules available. One is a payroll, and the other is it's called Front Desk, which does a lot of things actually. First and foremost, it's sort of a build out of the website, so it gives us an online payment portal where now we have online payments for utility billing and building permits, but they're done through separate functions, and it's kind of an accounting nightmare for me. But this would put all that in the same place. It would give the customers the ability to set up their accounts online, so they're not having to come into the city to do it. Just make things a lot easier for them. It's much more user-friendly than what we currently have. they'll be able to see their utility usage data online. If it's a landlord who has multiple properties, they can manage all their accounts from the same login and everything, so it'll make things a lot easier. People will be able to submit service requests through the portal, either a mobile device or through PC. And for those customers that do want to stick with online-only billing, we can eliminate paper bills, and it'll all be done online, so we don't have to send a bill to those folks. This is just a kind of a mock-up of what it would look, what a typical page would look like. I'm sure we could get, we'd be able to get our own. So the joke here is that it's Hill Valley, California, which is, everybody from the 80s knows, is the fictional town that Back to the Future takes place. So you'll see, maybe not on this one, but you see it on a later one, that Marty McFly is the name of the customer. So basically, you know, this allows us to combine all online payments into a single process. We'll be able to get utility billing, building permits. If we want to start doing dog licenses, other things like that online, we'll be able to do it. I don't know if they'll be able to do court payments through this right away, or if they're going to have to wait till we get the court module uploaded, which I think is probably going to be a ways down the road. But if so, at that point, we'll be able to do that too, which would be nice. I think you can see here the Marty McFly is the name of the customer. But this is kind of what it looks like from the billing side. So from the staff side, what we'd be looking at, where we can see all these payments, you know, online in a, you know, where we can be able to, you know, look at the data, look at the account. Whereas now, when we receive any kind of online payment, all we get is a printout that shows us the information. It's not something we can actually go on through the website and actually manage. Also, this could replace our, or I would argue it should replace our Everbridge notification system, because all of this functionality is available through this platform. It's an additional charge than what there would be without it, but the good thing is that by replacing Everbridge with this, that would completely cover the cost, the annual cost of software, because currently we're paying $6,300 a year for Everbridge alone. And this whole package, including the notifications and everything else that I've already talked about, is only $5,700 a year. So we'd get about $560 a year in savings just from switching to this, just for the public notices alone. And again, this is kind of just another mock-up of what the website might look like, and, you know, show that we can do how the public notification side would look like. Now, the one that Terry and I are both mostly interested in is upgrading our payroll module. Currently, we use the payroll module through Simple City, which is our city accounting software. And we also have a separate program called InTime that is where all the timesheets and scheduling are done. And they're two separate systems. They don't handshake together at all. We have to basically print out timesheets from one to enter into the other. It has kind of made the process less strenuous when we used to have the old filling out the paper timesheets, but it's not as modern and convenient as it should be. Terry, especially during COVID and, you know, other times when she had to be away from the office to do payroll, it's difficult to do it off-site. It's extremely cumbersome and time-consuming as it is, and the biggest issue is that, you know, I'm the backup person for payroll, and it took me 6 months to get up to speed to where I could run it, and so I'm still occasionally making boo-boos. So with this system that they're replacing with their cloud-based system, the time tracker is what their timesheet portion of it is called, and payroll module are all combined, integrated into a single system. So there's no, you know, basically what gets entered in one automatically transforms over to the other, so that makes the payroll process a lot easier. And then we do need to have, and like I said, the biggest thing for me is it's easier to train how to use it. And so this way we could literally get to where not only Terry and I are trained to enter payroll, but we can get department heads to where they can do it themselves, because it's just a much easier process. This is just a little advertising thing from them. But again, this kind of shows what it would look like from our end, whereas everything's done automatically, you know, as far as, you know, hourly rates and everything else. We'll be able to do all of our shift differentials, overtime much easier. They're advertising it going from 30-plus steps to do payroll down to 47 steps, so it can make the process go a lot quicker. So the financial side, like I said, the annual subscription for front desk is $5,700 a year, with an one-time onboarding and setup fee of $1,800. And they're also, if we do this before the end of the year, which if you guys agree to it tonight, I'll notify them tomorrow. They're waiving about $2,800 in other fees if we get it done before the end of the year. For HR Hub, and including the time tracker portion, the annual subscription is $5,100 with a one-time boarding and setup fee of $700. And like I said, automatically by going with front desk and getting rid of Everbridge, our notifications, we're already going to save $560 a year, and but we're getting a lot more functionality. We will actually save about $1,700 a year switching from our current payroll modules with InTime on top of it, which is about $5,000 a year, and going with this, which combines everything in one. So basically, if we buy both of these new software packages and get rid of the ones we're replacing, we'll have a total annual savings of about $2,200 a year. So it pays for itself and then some. As far as like where it will be paid for from, we're going to use our current IT and technical services line items, which is what we use now to pay for our annual subscription to the modules we currently have. And that's going to be through general fund, through, it's pretty much split evenly between administration, police administration, and court, and then on the water and sewer funds through their administration cost center. So we're recommending staff to purchase the front desk and HR Hub through Simple City for a total of $13,360, and which would make it outside of our. It will not be outside of our budget authority for IT, because we're actually going to be saving money through this. So.
Do they give you support and training?
Yeah, it's all. This all includes training for staff. It'll be the support the same that we have now through them, because we've been with them for I think since 2000. Well, it's a different company than when it used to be called Summit. It was a company called DataTech, and Simple City bought them, or G-Works bought them, and they rebranded it Simple City. I want to say 3 or 4 years ago. And so at first, the issue we had with this company for a while was that the old company that owned it were they were basically trying to get rid of it, and they were not doing a great job of support and everything. But over the last couple of years, since the new owners have come on board, they've hired and trained new staff, and they're doing a much better job. And the biggest reason I want to stay with this company for now going forward is we got a quote from Tyler Technology for Encode 10, which is sort of the gold standard for municipal ERP systems, about 2 years ago, and it was $250,000. And it was going to be about double our annual subscription cost to go with them. We are still a small city. We do not need a full ERP system. And even the other, I've been getting bids and quotes from other providers since then, and everybody's want a lot of money, and it's going to be a lot more training than we have now. Whereas what they are offering us is to, they're gradually transforming into a cloud-based from the old, server-based systems. And what they've showed us so far is, and this is just for 2 things. It's not even the big stuff that we'll hopefully be bringing to you in the next year or 2. But they're already giving us a great deal for, what they're offering.
How many court payments do we go through?
So court payments are currently done either over the phone or they're done at the front desk. I would like to get them moved to where they're online, but the problem is that I'd have to get Kathy to really explain it to you, but she has repeatedly told me that until we can get something set up to where basically we have the court system is on some sort of online portal where they can set up their own accounts on there if they want to. It's just too hard to do because of the intricacies of the because it's not like everybody pays the same fine for
Right.
you know, everything, there's, you know, multiple levels for all that stuff.
But if you guys want to integrate later, you can.
Yeah, I'm hoping that when they finish their municipal court module, which I still think is probably going to be at least 2 to 3 years away, at that point, we would be able to bring that online. Because we'd like to get, honestly, it would be great if we could get everything done online, so we only rarely have to exchange money at the front desk. That would be best for all of us, just, I mean, mostly just so our customers don't have to physically come to the building, but
The system's still gonna mail out bills and so on for water and so on, aren't you?
so what?
Still gonna mail out bills for water and everything.
Yeah, we still will, but this will give us the option if you are an online, if you pay your bill online only, and you don't ever pay it with a check or anything, you can have the option to not get a paper bill. So we think that would be about, you know, we have about 1,900 to 2,000 customers, and this would be a little less than half that would be able to take advantage of that. So we would also have some cost savings there with the paper billing.
How will it work with the auto draft? That for city?
That won't change. That won't change. No, this only affects the online payment portion. It's the actual module for utility billing is not changing yet.
But like, I do auto draft, but I could still get online and look at my bill each month, and then I could actually opt to not get my paper.
I'm not sure. Maybe. I'll find out though.
Okay.
But do you have auto draft through the ACH, or does it go through the online? Do you actually log in to make the payment, or does it just automatically comes to the ACH? Okay.
Yeah, I brought a check.
Okay. So I don't think we'll have that available with us yet, but the next I'm going to bore you guys a little bit longer. Sorry. The next module they're going to tackle is a bunch of GIS and planning and stuff like that. And then after that, hopefully by the end of next year, they said they're going to have their main accounting, which is general ledger and bank reconciliation and all that stuff done. And I think utility billing is the one they're going to do after that. So in 2 or 3 years, we should have that available to us. I don't think you'll have that here, but
Do you know what it would
Maybe.
cost to do a GIS? I haven't talked about that.
well, we've already got a pretty good system that Micah uses.
Yeah.
But if what they're going to come out with is comparable to what they have, I'll try to talk Micah into going with it, but
No. Okay.
we'll see what it costs, and then we'll have another discussion about it, and I'll make my point, but if not, then we'll stick with this.
Okay. Well, I got no other questions. You guys? Good. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to authorize staff to purchase front desk and HR hub for $13,360.
Motion by Sarah,
Second, to do the same.
second by Michael. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and Council. Quick overview of the city's snow route removal. Goal of our winter storm response operation is to reduce the impact of snow and ice on city roadways. Each year, we have Public Works and City Administrative staff review and prepare for any approaching storm season the week of Columbus Day. So we get all of our equipment out, make sure everything's functional, make sure everyone knows the routes and all that good stuff. The city has an informational webpage under the Public Works Department where Thatcher keeps it updated to include upcoming weather and road conditions, as well as our city's road map and our winter weather prep and response overview. Well, I'm going to move forward real quick. This snow map here illustrates the city's priority roadways color-coded with the major arteries being in blue, primary routes in red, and then secondary in green. During a snow response, we will first work on the major arteries to make sure they are clear and free of snow and ice. And then once those are done, we'll move into the primary routes and of course on into the secondary routes. Prior to a winter storm, we'll oftentimes see us out spreading brine down. We do that if the road temperatures have been low enough, long enough that the initial moisture will freeze on them and create ice, or if it's not going to be below about 5 or 10 degrees Fahrenheit, because at that point, a lot of times the brine won't work. But we follow the same routes as we do plowing. Initially, when we put down brine, we'll hit the major arteries, primary and secondary, and all of that really determines how much we get, determines how much time we have before the storm hits.
During the storm, we also will go around, you'll see us applying salt sand, intersections, icy places, stuff like that. Along the snow routes, you'll see these signs posted. They're the emergency snow route sign. In the event that a state declares a snow emergency, we will put out the word via the webpage, Everbridge, or the new software now, which I'm excited about because I'm not crazy about Everbridge. Let the residents know that they have 2 hours to move their vehicles off the public streets in order for us to clear them. And a lot of times that is because if we have that much snow, we have to have places to pile it. And you'll notice a lot in the neighborhoods, you'll see these signs paired with the new speed encouragement signage, safe speed encouragement signs, the drive safe signs. So you'll see those there. So I have no direct cost from this agenda item. Again, approved as a form. Are there any questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bill.
Honorable Mayor and Council, you'll see some increased activity at the Starbond site, and particularly on the water park portion. You may be able to see something poking out just at the top of that, which will get a little better view here. And they're in the process of installing a water slide. You can see the hotel progress looking back to the west. Just the residential subdivisions is identified from last quarter, so this will be updated here for our next council meeting and then revised at year end. My apologies. View of the Arbor Creek Clubhouse. Sorry. The view looking east-southeast. Cloverleaf showing the phase map for phase 1, which is fully built out, and phase 2, which is underway, and we would expect phase 3 to begin soon. Elk Ridge showing the 3 homes on the northernmost part of the addition with 3 new foundations starting between these homes and the existing south end of the final phase 3. The view of Rustic Creek as it's progressing. And then some sidewalk work that we've done, installed a wheelchair ADA accessible curb cut for access on the south end of Main Street here in the Central Business District. Dougie Boutique has the need for some accessibility issues for its clients, and so that'll really help them out, as well as the Edward Jones office as well. And then off of Main and 23rd, the sidewalk was repoured, and this is on the west side of the road. And then just upcoming events. We're into year end. We'll be looking for the final plat for Tanganyika, which we're excited about. The police department annual radio purchase, the multi-factor authorization compliance purchase, and rezoning for ICT development. And then beginning in January, we'll go through our annual goals and CIP sessions, as well as some administrative municipal code cleanup. And then the second meeting, which will actually be Tuesday with the Dr. Martin Luther King holiday, we'll have an update on our community center and some sign regulation discussions, as well as the equity and benefit fee structure discussion, and present the ordinances for consideration in February. Are there any questions for myself and staff at this time?
No? Unless I don't.
Thank you.
All right, we moved governing body comments after item K, executive session. So we have 3 executive sessions that we need to move into. Do I?
We need to take them time-wise individually, or?
Yes, sir. The first 2 can be taken concurrently since it's under the attorney-client for the personnel discussion of subject matter. So this can be as one for 30 minutes, and then we have the second one for the discussion of preliminary acquisition of real estate. So after the city council and city attorney come out from executive session number 1, then at that point, you can either take a break or immediately go back in with the second motion.
How long do we want? 30 minutes?
30 minutes. Make a motion to go into executive session, in consultation with an attorney on matters that will be deemed privileged in attorney-client relationship, discuss personnel matters.
Okay,
For
motion by
30 minutes,
Second. Motion by Larry, second by Michael. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
We're online, so you can watch it on Facebook.
Let's turn the heat down.
Okay, let the record show that there's no binding action taken during executive session.
Make a motion to resume back in executive session,
Attorney-client or real estate?
real estate.
A motion to recess into executive session for preliminary discussion relating to the acquisition of real property to include city attorney, city administrator, and community development director to reconvene the open meeting in the city council chambers in 15 minutes at 8:20.
Second.
All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, well, let the record show that there was no binding action taken during the executive session. We have one more item, governing body comments. Larry, start off with you.
Oh, the only comment I have is that every time I look at the paper, I see that Brooke has got more water well issues.
Well, yeah. We're trying not to do that. We're trying hard not to do that. We did get, like normally do every late summer when the ground dries out, we ended up with a lot of leaks. We've been fixing some main leaks and stuff, but everything's running right now, so. Yeah, knock on wood.
Was it a program we're set up on to rejuvenate these wells every so
Well,
many years, or what's?
That's a good question, because that's something we're gonna have to sit down on, because we really need to find out why, you know, and the well companies say it's just the wells get old, the liners get old, and the screens break, and that's why we have these issues, but there's gotta be something we can do, and so that's something we probably need to sit down with Harlan and come up with a plan and lay it out, bring it to council, get approval and go from there. But we do need to look into that definitely.
The comment I had is that our last Saturday night, I thought it turned out real well. We had a big turnout, more than I'd ever seen before.
Yeah.
And it seemed like everybody was having a good time. I thought maybe there was a little bit of lag in between events, but it seemed like people didn't care. So I was glad to see our money going to good use and help the public have a good time. It's all right.
Sarah?
I just wanted to say that I thought the Christmas on Main Street was a great event. Chamber did an awesome job. Women's Club, the library, Lions Club. I'm sure I missed some people, but PD, Public Works, everybody did a great job. I thought keeping the event family friendly, and appreciate the Walmart donation of the gingerbread houses. That was a hot item. They were going at them. So I thought the event was good and had a lot of variety of things to offer to the people who showed up. So.
Thank you, Sarah. Michael?
Well, yeah, I mean, that was quite the event. We had fireworks, and my kids made a gingerbread house. It looked like it must have had a gas leak. So it just was and, you know, so that was a great time, and I really am appreciative of the effort everybody put in the city and the chamber and everybody.
All right.
I'm just thankful for everybody waiting through 2 executive sessions tonight. I just want to thank all of you that stayed here.
Well, I can't say much more than all these guys. Well, thank you all for being here. Thanks for all your help. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Motion by Sarah,
Second.
second by Larry. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay.